The meaning of existence, a problem unsolvable to theologians, philosophers, and scientists, is the consciousness development of the primordial atoms, to awaken to consciousness primordial atoms which are unconscious in primordial matter, and thereupon to teach them in ever higher kingdoms to acquire consciousness of life and understanding of life in all its relationships. The goal of existence is the omniscience and omnipotence of all in the whole cosmos. The process implies development, in respect of knowledge from ignorance to omniscience, in respect of will from impotence to omnipotence, in respect of freedom from bondage to that power which the application of the laws affords, in respect of life from isolation to unity with all life. The self develops in and through envelopes, from the lowest physical etheric envelope to the highest cosmic world. It constantly acquires new envelopes in one world after the other. Step by step, it acquires self-consciousness in the ever higher molecular kinds of its envelope by learning to activate the consciousness in these. By this, it finally becomes the master of its envelope. Until then, it is disoriented in the consciousness chaos of this envelope, and it is the victim of vibrations from without. The ancient terms, which ignorance always misinterpreted, soul, spirit, God, etc., referred to the self's envelopes in higher worlds. By soul, they meant man's permanent causal envelope, 47 envelope. By spirit, his future, 45 envelope. By God, the 43 envelope. Atomic consciousness is world consciousness. The individual, as a joint owner of a consciousness collective, is like a cell in an organism. The organism is an envelope of an individual in a higher kingdom. When in the collective consciousness of his world, the individual has so developed that he can take over this material world as an envelope of his own, and then he will be a quote-unquote God of this world. Atomic consciousness, world consciousness, omniscience in that world, does not mean that the individual knows everything about everything that is or happens, but it is possible for him to find out more or less quickly everything he wishes to know, independently of space and past time in a given world, to ascertain all relations in the three aspects, matter, motion, and consciousness, of that world. All material forms, atoms, molecules, aggregates, worlds, planets, solar systems, aggregates of solar systems, etc., are subject to the law of transformation. They are being formed, changed, dissolved, and reformed. This is inevitable, since in the long run, no material forms tolerate the wear of the cosmic material energies. The primordial atoms that form all these compositions of matter thereby have opportunities to have ever new experiences in new forms. All learn from everything. When their form is renewed, all organisms, plants, animals, and men receive a form of life similar to the previous form, until their consciousness development requires a specifically different, higher form, a more expedient possibility to acquire increased experience. Man is reborn as a man, never as an animal, until he has learnt everything he can learn in the human kingdom, and has acquired all the qualities and abilities necessary to enable him to continue his consciousness expansion in the fifth natural kingdom. Rebirth explains both the seeming injustices of life, since in new lives the individual has to reap what he has sown in previous lives, and the innate, latent understanding and the once self-acquired abilities existing as predispositions. It does more than that. It refutes 99% of everything that mankind has accepted as truth.